Welcome to the PDX files. Each week we dive into the weird and the unexplained here in the Pacific Northwest and beyond. My name is Peej.
And I'm Mac.
Mac, what are we talking about tonight?
Well, I kind of want to go into something that's near and dear to my heart just because it's kind of grew me up on ghost hunting, I guess you could say. And that show was Ghost Hunters. And I kind of want to go into some. This could be a part, kind of a part one, maybe of several that we'll do, not all at once, but kind of we'll get into some of the best evidence that they come through with some of their videos. Now, again, I am taking the track that I believe what they're doing for the most part. I don't think there's been a whole lot of complaints over the years that they tried to fake anything. Maybe later on in the series when there was a lot of chaos and stuff like that going on with this sci-fi and all that. But I believe that they did their very best, and I tend to believe most of the evidence that I've seen just because we've done it. Like you and I have done this stuff, right? So we've seen
Yeah.
stuff very, very similar to what we're going to see in some of these clips here. And this is just kind of scratching the surface on kind of the crazy stuff that they've seen over the years.
All right. Well, I've not seen this video, and to Mac's point, from I don't know whether we were recording when you said that, but I may not have seen any of these episodes before.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll go ahead
I
and
don't, probably not. These, I don't really remember these, but maybe one of them. But yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff that they did. I think that's really good.
all right. This is from the best of Ghost Hunters. Here we go.
Part one.
Hello? You're up here. Maybe you can move some of the books for us like you did the other day for my friends.
Now, Jay, we went through and made sure all the books were lined up.
So they were already as far in as they could go.
Exactly.
Isaac Osterhout. The library was named after you and your wife, Elizabeth. Is this library what you envisioned?
Is that why you're still here?
Keep on getting shocked every freaking time I move.
She was experiencing that up here, that one librarian. It was mostly happening in the section about religion.
Steve, the book just slid out.
What?
Holy, that just slid out.
No way. Did you see it move?
I did. When I turned around, it was moving slightly. That's what I was saying.
God. Jay, I thought I heard the sound of like a shh. Wow. Jay.
Well, it's freaking cold too.
Wow.
It's cold.
It is?
It's cold. Feel it.
It is cold.
Holy.
Good. I'm glad we paused it before he said the curse word there.
Yeah. So that really reminds me a lot. Again, when I was watching this, it kind of really reminded me kind of the stuff that we used to do a lot, right? So, again, you got to take it with a grain of salt. I get it, and some people are like this, say it's total bullshit, maybe, but those guys haven't really been called out for any of that kind of stuff, like not some of the other shows have done. So I tend to take the I'll give them the benefit of the doubt mindset when I watch the Ghost Hunters, just because they're the OGs. And the places that they go usually have quite a bit of activity surrounding them, those places. So they're not going into places you haven't heard of and just making shit up. And to me, that'd be the worst. And we probably would have come out by now if they were just making shit up. Now, was that a ghost? Who knows? You don't have any video evidence of it. One thing I would have liked to have seen there is if they had an infrared camera to sort of look at that to see if it really was cold. That would have kind of been really was interesting. Cold. Yeah.
Right. Or even like maybe a ceiling mounted CCTV in that particular angle.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool.
Yeah.
But all right. I don't know the name of the other guy.
Steve Gonzalez. Yeah, I think he left. He was there early on. I think he left and then came back to the show.
Got it. But
he was the tech guy.
He was responding. He was reacting. Oh my God, did you really see it? I think this definitely sounds like it's an earlier episode because I think he's gotten more disciplined in later episodes where he's not, overtly reacting.
Yeah.
Either visibly or auditorily. But anyways.
Well, and usually he didn't do a lot of the investigating. Actually, he was the tech guy, kind of set everything up and sort of
he was
the guy who, he was the guy who was listening to all the stuff and coming up with the evidence at the end of the show. But yeah.
Normally in Command Central, I think.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
up to the attic where they see a little boy.
That was a voice.
Hello?
Margaret and Harmon Blennerhassett? Are you here?
Who makes up these last names?
Blennerhassett. What's that pink light?
Hello?
Minor
Does it go
asset.
green to pink? That's kind of weird.
Who is the little boy who's been seen here? What the was that? There was just a crazy freaking voice. Can you say it again?
People have seen a little boy running up and down this hallway here.
That just happened again.
Are you serious?
I was in the same spot coming through. Hang on. It's there. It's there.
But yeah.
It's lonely.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah, that is.
If you're lonely, why would you be staying up here?
And the device goes off.
Oh.
If you're going near the device, it just made noise. Please do it again for us.
Hmm.
Thank you.
I did it again. Hmm.
It constantly sounds like somebody walking behind you.
Was there a little boy with us?
If that is somebody saying lonely, I hope it's not a child.
Yeah, I mean, definitely wouldn't want that. See, that's the reason why. The way he delivers that, this guy's not like a trained actor. It's like I can tell that at least, if nothing else, he believes
Right.
what he's saying and hearing, and so I think that's always a good sign. You don't want to be like that. I can't remember the name of the other show that came out a little bit later that tried to rival this one, and I think it was like on Discovery. No, it wasn't Discovery. It was some other channel. But there are a bunch of douchebags who
Ghost Adventures.
yeah, they like way overreact to everything, and like
Yeah.
everything's drama, and there's all this kind of bullshit.
And there's always somebody who gets possessed at every episode. So
It's just something stupid in every one of them. Yeah. So,
So-
I really never liked that one, but yeah.
yeah. So obviously this particular scene for those listening on the podcast, or the previous one was at an attic somehow, and then they kept capturing some sort of auditory phenomena. Now, it's lonely. It's almost like there's somebody else who's referencing the boy. You know what I mean? So it's not the boy who's saying it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of another level of creepy.
Yeah, and exactly. And if you're able to like get those things, like they have the resources to get these things like in real time. Like if we have the resources to get those EVPs like in real time, that would have been amazing.
Let's
But,
remind
yeah.
let's remind the viewer as well as the listener that sometimes we can be listening to 3+ hours of audio recording over multiple files and catch nothing.
Yep. That's exactly right. That's
All
exactly right.
Here we go.
Franklin Shackelford, we know that you were left here to die by the guards. Did you just tell me to shh?
I didn't say anything.
I heard someone tell me shh. It's going down, Jay.
He's a shusher.
So this is a prison. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah, it's there.
Really?
Yeah, it's there.
That must have been coming from right here. Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Franklin Shackelford, how angry does it make you that you were left here to die?
I want to go this way. Hello? Is anyone here from the Barrier family?
Rufus Barrier? We know that you inherited this land. Are you here with us?
Is there a Margaret here?
People hear a woman screaming. Maybe that's you.
Hmm.
There's somebody outside.
You see someone?
Yeah, it just looked like somebody walking right by that door. Nobody's out there. Nobody's out there.
Hmm.
There's a little splash. It looked like somebody walking. What the hell was that? It sounded like someone walking.
I love those. I mean, sometimes it could just be like somebody else in the area walking, but it's funny when you hear those kinds of things. And again, it kind of reminds me a lot of the old days when we kind of tried to emulate some of this stuff a little bit. But I like the questions they ask, and in general, they don't. That's why they don't freak out when they see something like, "Hey, that looked like something," and they try to go and investigate why, or maybe not, or maybe why it's not what it is. But yeah, that you go to those kind. It kind of reminds me. I think we investigated like a nursing home once that had been abandoned for a long time. That type of place kind of reminded me of that a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. And it was interesting that the camera guy. So let's assume right now that it's in that particular scene, it was Jason, Steve, and the camera person.
Right.
Three people. So there aren't, because obviously, when folks are watching the video, it's pretty choppy, it's pretty shaky. Because they're combining in the editing multiple camera capture, right?
Yeah.
But when the camera guy was like, I heard that too, that's instant kind of like potential
A little bit of
collaboration, right?
validation.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
corroboration rather. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I love that.
All right, here we go.
Maybe make any of these pieces of equipment go off a little more just by getting closer to them. All right. That's happening on cue.
Right.
Only when we're asking questions. And there's the other device on the table. It's lit up blue. By going to one side, it'll light up green, and on the other side, it'll light up red.
So when we ask you questions, if the answer is yes, you're going to go to the green side. And if the answer is no, you'll light up the red side.
I've never seen that before.
Again, is there anyone here with us who was buried in the cemetery on this property in the 1700s? If so,
Oh,
no? Okay.
it's the first time it lit up.
Yeah.
Is anyone here from the Sayer family?
Francis Rudolphus, is that you? Are you still playing in this room? We know that you might be afraid of us because nobody's ever been in here before asking you questions. Please do not be afraid.
If it's somebody who's not one of these Sayers' children, would you be willing to come and talk with us? Nope.
Oh, green for yes. Thank you.
That was dead on.
Yeah.
Right when I asked the question. Boom.
Yeah.
Is your name Robert Sayer?
Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
Turn green.
So, you're here with us? Robert, if that's you, can you go near one of the devices again?
Oh.
You heard that?
Heard that. God.
Holy. If I had hair, it would all be standing up right now.
That was interesting. I've not seen that device before, so I don't know what to say about that. But it did again. If you take the premise of it's not fake and they're not trying to fuck us over, then that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I've never seen that device either, and the reactions with regard to the red light versus the green light could also just be coincidental. There could be electrical. I mean, we're already
Right, right.
debunked this right now, but
Yeah, there's plenty of you can easily debunk the whole thing, but I think the whole idea is to try to take on its face that they're not doing anything, and, they do what we do as well, as you do a baseline of the room to sort of figure that stuff out beforehand so that
correct.
you
Yeah.
know that you're not gonna get anything like that,
Yeah.
happening, but
Yeah. I mean, because you're right about the baseline, taking the baseline measurements, and then if that machine is malfunctioning in some form, obviously it would be blinking red and green, kind of willy-nilly.
regardless of their questions, yeah,
Exactly,
obviously,
regardless
yeah,
of the questions or the timing of the questions.
yeah,
That's pretty interesting. I've never seen that particular episode for sure. I don't even
yeah.
know who this chick is who's on the screen right now.
That's what this leads me to believe this might be a newer episode because I
Oh,
don't I
okay.
don't I don't recognize her either. Yeah, I have no idea who she kind of annoying actually.
All
But it's
right.
fine. It's fine.
All right. We'll go to the last part of this video. Looks like this one is a pretty long clip. Here we
Yeah.
go.
Friggin' tornado warnings right now. We got to be paying attention.
With a massive storm rolling in.
I think I remember this.
Holy,
Jeez.
this is bad.
Tonight's investigation will start with Shippy and Steve in the Coliseum Arena,
To the Coliseum.
where they'll try to connect with the spirits of Margarita and any orphans possibly buried on the waif's gravesite that
Yeah.
are believed to have been cemented over during
Oh,
construction
Jesus.
on this property.
Makes you wonder if all this storm and electricity will kind of heighten something.
Yes, all the lightning strikes really could. Absolutely.
In the south lobby, Dave takes Sherry and me to the exact spot where he experienced seeing a shadow figure after our investigation last night.
I was about right here,
Yeah.
and it literally came from
I
like
remember that
here, completely black mass. I never seen anything like it in my life. Even just being here right now, Jay,
Gives you like the hair on the back of your neck.
it's making me feel weird. Yeah.
guy.
Okay.
This is Steve and Steve entering the Coliseum. The claims of activity are disembodied voices. Dave, Sherry, and I heard a sound.
We'll check it back on the DVR. Just
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
oh, I heard
What
that.
the hell was that? Is anybody here with us?
We know that there have been people found buried here. Margarita, are you here? What happened to you?
Look, look. What is moving up there, man?
Look at it. It's
There's-
illuminated.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
There's Ghost Adventures guy on the screen.
Fuck that guy. So
So-
yeah, that's kind of part one of I want to go back and look. I mean, there's so many good ones that they've done. This is like barely even like any of their greatest hits, but I thought it'd be kind of nice to see some of the ones like I don't really remember those too much. But they still had some pretty interesting evidence.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, that show in particular also helped shape the way I approached paranormal investigations when we were part of that team. Actually,
Yep.
two different versions of the team. I
Yeah.
was at least, and and it always annoyed me when I was with people, especially early on, who were just there for the sensationalized,
Yeah.
part of it, or the romanticized part of it as well. So it's so it's good when it's good and refreshing to see an outfit like the Atlantic Paranormal Society, or TAPS, which is what that show was based on, really taking things seriously, getting the right, setting up the right equipment. They don't, as far as I remember, they don't use the ghost box.
Nope.
I think that's
Nope.
the Ghost Adventures people who do that, or
Yep.
other, like they they really go about it in a scientific manner.
As much as they can. That's right. And that's the reason why I like the earlier episodes really the best, is because they had just sort of proven themselves enough to get a show about it. And they had to do all that work to get to that point. And that's the thing, is like they had to put in all the hours of work and listening to and watching video and doing all the stuff that they do, not just the investigation that people see on the screen. That's like what, an hour long show, man. To do one of those things, it takes like, so many hours to get something good. And
Yeah.
a lot of times you'll do a great run through it. And that's what the other thing I liked about the show is, like, sometimes they would do shows and they wouldn't really find much, which is, I thought, was kind of cool too, because then they were like trying to reassure people. It's like, yeah, we didn't find anything, basically.
Yeah, I mean, because it's always a crapshoot, right?
Yeah,
Whether something actually is happening there or not, or that particular day something does not,
right.
make themselves. They didn't make themselves known. This all on the possibility that ghosts exist, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
yeah, and it's definitely it would be worth it for me to rewatch. Is that on Prime? Do you happen to know? I think those old
Honestly, I
episodes.
don't know. I do, but this make when I watch this and maybe want to go back and watch some of the episodes again. It's got to be on Prime or Hulu or whoever the hell owns some of that stuff. I really don't know.
Oh,
You know what I
good
mean? I think
call.
it's
Good call.
like Sci-Fi is where it came from. I don't know who owns Sci-Fi stuff now, right?
I think Hulu. Now that I think about it. But
Yeah,
good. No, that was good. That was a good trip down memory lane, so to speak, and like
yeah.
it kind of helps to kind of remember the our own investigations in the past as well.
Yeah, I know it's fun. And again, I try to look at that, especially because of the seasons that, 1 through 3 or 4. I think were like really good, solid stuff. And I think especially at the very beginning and some of the episodes that they didn't have the resources. They didn't have all these different things that they had to bring into the show. And I get there's some TV stuff that you have to do to get viewers on there, like the whole red green deal, which you can't really see very very well. You can kind of like guess to try to keep the show going. But I think at least the first 3 seasons of that show were really really good and informative, and I believe the stuff that they did, certainly. And I don't think that unless the networks like try to do something against their knowledge to try to make it weirder, which I think
Well,
is a possibility, certainly.
it's a
Uh,
possibility, and yeah, and maybe they've got NDAs that they had to sign in order to prevent anything
Almost certainly, yeah.
fishy from being revealed. But so just a quick I was going to say Wikipedia, but a quick Wikipedia search here. It looks like it is back on since 2021, and it's Jason, Steve Gonzalez, Dave Tango, and Sherry Benedetti are the current members. So
Well,
just
I know those first 3 for sure. Dave Tango was funny when he first came on the show. He was this kinda deer in the headlights guy that
yeah,
I think a friend remember
he
him? They
was
were always kinda
basically.
making fun of him, they were kinda hazing him a little bit. I was
Oh
thought that was
yeah,
kind of funny. Oh,
they were trying
Dave.
to prank him, right?
Yeah, yeah, I like
But
that. Dave Tango, I remember his name now, that's awesome. Yeah, so
uh,
maybe this is from the newer show then.
it is because it
Um,
looks like there was definitely a portion of the time it appears where
it says Travel
only
Channel, didn't it? Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Duh.
Grant was involved, but not Jason. But now Jason's involved, but not Grant. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if they had a falling out or something like that. I think I remember reading something about that too. Maybe they don't get along very well anymore. But I was like the original crew, man. The original crew was great. It was Steve and Dave and Grant and whoever that one chick was. And then there's like somebody else I think that sort of came on here and there. But it
Amy
was a pretty
Bruni.
small. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was probably the best crew to watch. I thought that was great. I think they still do a good job and they're still having a lot of fun doing it. Um, Again, I tend to believe that they don't want to completely destroy their reputation. So I tend to believe that again, there could be other reasons why they're seeing those things or hearing those things. It could certainly be non ghost related. But again, with some of the early episodes, man, there was some like serious shit that they caught that was pretty impressive, and so I got
Yeah,
to give them the benefit of the doubt.
and if I recall correctly, I think almost every episode they obviously show things happening in the moment, but then they go do the evidence review,
Yeah, yep,
and then
yep.
they either confirm or or
They come up
toss
with
it out.
ideas for why it's not. Yeah, and that's the
Right.
thing I liked about that. Again, and that's the reason why they would come back to some people and it's like, yeah, we saw this, but we were able to explain it by this.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. And so that's the reason why I like that a lot is because they really were trying to use the scientific method on that. So
Right. Oh, well, good. Well, folks, if you enjoyed this content, please give it a like and share it across your socials to help get the word out about our show. If you hadn't already done so, please subscribe. And on YouTube, hit that notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on future episodes. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.